10% of all the new cars sold in Iowa come from the Carl Auto Group. Our neighbors trust us to have the largest selection and the highest standards. To our current customers, thank you. And to our future customers, see for yourself why Carl drives Iowa.
Your dealer for life, it's the Carl way.
We know that carrying your groceries out to your car seems a bit old school. That saying hello and asking about your day feels like a thing of the past. Being best at fresh, it's not just a fad. Serving high-quality meat at affordable prices? Talk about a throwback. But at Fairway, that's kind of our thing. Because some things never go out of style. Friendly at Fairway. It's more than just a name.
Keen Project Solutions, a modern engineering and construction firm, embracing technology, establishing industry-leading systems and processes, and delivering reliable results to our customers. At Keen, we are passionate about inspiring our team and our customers to achieve great things, offering the highest quality services in commercial construction to deliver turnkey projects. Our core beliefs drive us forward. Protect people, build relationships, drive innovation, and focus on end goals, bringing our customers' desired results to life. See how Keen can work for you at thinkdifferentthinkkeen.com.
What's up, C-Dub?
What's going on? Welcome.
It's been a while.
Well, I'm just freaking glad we got a home game, man. Feels like it's been like 2 years since Iowa State played at Jack Trice Stadium.
I've still got this on my desk. It's this Guinness bottle opener I got in Ireland.
That's pretty cool.
I was thinking about this as the pre-rolls were going. Like, Ireland feels like 6 years ago.
Ain't that the truth? Welcome to the show. A little pregame here in the Northwest Bank Studios. We are, as always, presented by our friends at Channel Seed. All of our pregame, halftime, postgame shows here on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network. Wherever you check us out. Hopefully you guys have figured out our YouTube channel by now. If you're not, get there.
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing if you're not?
It's the best way to take in our content in general. Jake's Daily Clone, all that good stuff. All the press conferences, everything is just there. Highlights, everything's at our YouTube channel. We appreciate our friends at Channel. I know, unfortunately, I have talked to a few farmers that are still going to be wrapping up the harvest this weekend and can't make the game, but hopefully you guys can get there. Also want to thank our other great sponsors, Fairway Meat and Grocery. Heard from them at the beginning. And load up for that tailgate with our friends at Fairway. And load up on the Iowa pork, baby. I would recommend the pork loin, the skinless brat, all that good stuff.
I'm hungry.
Pork producers are a proud sponsor of everything we do here at Cyclone Fanatic, as is Carl Auto Group and Keen Project Solutions. Go to thinkdifferentthinkkeen.com. You can apply for a job today. They are looking for engineers, project managers in their Ankeny and Kansas City offices. Think different, think Keen.com. I'll be heading up to, no tailgating for me. I'll be heading up in my Chevy Silverado from Carl on Saturday this week because of just life and so much stuff. Halloween. Got nieces and nephews playing district volleyball and football. Just a lot going on. But Jake, I am looking forward to this game, though. This is a big boy game for the Cyclones. Huge opportunity on Saturday.
Yeah, it's the season in my eyes. If you win this game, it's still all out there. Maybe you don't control your destiny to get back to a Big 12 championship, but if you win this game, you know what's next. Arizona State comes to town, Big 12 championship rematch. That game looks a lot more intriguing. That game will have such high stakes if Iowa State's able to pull this one off on Saturday. If you lose, feels like it just kind of sucks the air out of the season. So it's a big one.
No doubt. I think that on the surface, that's all super fair. I think that there's also like an element of this where I guess it was good for me to have a bye week in the sense of just straight reflections, because I do hate where we're at in college football right now. And I don't know how we get out of it where it's just like if you don't make the playoff, it feels like a disappointment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't know. Let's just in hypothetical world, let's say they lose on Saturday and win out and are 9-3 and playing in the Alamo Bowl, like, would that be a disappointment?
No. I guess
and
my
wouldn't be, but what you're saying though, it feels like that based on how it's all set up now. And I that's the one thing I really dislike about what this playoff has done to our sport.
I guess in my eyes, if they lose Saturday, that's where I have a hard time picturing them winning out.
I agree.
Like to me, that's where maybe the mentality of everybody changes, and that maybe the atmosphere against Arizona State's not awesome and it's not enough to win the game. Whereas if you win this, you're still eyeing, hey man, 9-3, 10-2, that's 100% in the cards, and that would be a great season. So nonetheless, it's super important to get this one before you think about anything else, and then you see what happens, because the way that things are going to work in this current landscape, 10-2 some years can get you in, 10-2 some years won't get you in, and
really they were fortunate at 10-2 to get in last.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the playoff just worked in their the not the college football playoff, but the way that the Big 12 has its tiebreakers set up and everything, it worked in their favor. I don't think it would probably happen again this year. They're going to have to, a lot would have to happen in Iowa State's way, but forget about it. Let's get to the game. I think that's what matters, where you have like a really interesting BYU team in the sense that this is the second year in a row where I personally have fallen into they're not as good as their record, yada, 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 and they just win. They just find ways to win. And what do you think? What do you think Iowa State has in store for BYU on Saturday?
I mean, I like the spot. It sets up about as well as possible when you factor in BYU just won their biggest rivalry game, a highly emotional game at home. And the week before that, they went to double overtime and won another emotional game. Iowa State's coming off of a bye. This is easily the best opposing atmosphere that Bear Bachmeier will play in thus far in his career. There's a lot of elements that make this a good spot for Iowa State, but BYU is incredible in one-score games. They don't make mistakes. They're not highly penalized. And they do everything that Iowa State was doing well at the start of the year. Can Iowa State get back to that point, or is this another game where they have 9 penalties? If they have 9 penalties, they're not going to win, and that's what this comes down to. You've said it this week. It feels like a Cy-Hawk game in a way. You got to go play the way you did in the Cy-Hawk game, maybe even a little better if you want to win this.
I'm going to pick Iowa State to win, and it's just it's really on the offense where I'm going with this, and it's that I think that they're too good to not figure it out. The other thing that I like about it, and that I've studied, it's like they haven't put the points up. Well, last week they kind of did against Cincinnati. Honestly, that wasn't really on the offense. Like the Cincinnati game felt like Kansas last year, where the whole thing just kind of crashed down, and you just
that's right.
That I don't think the offense didn't go out and win it at the end when it had opportunities, but the defense kind of dug the hole. So it was kind of like this team thing. I thought the offense just flat out lost him the game against Colorado.
I completely agree.
Right. So I really do have faith that Rocco bounces back with one of his better games. Everything we know about the kid and Taylor Mauser, I think probably has had a good week of reflection as well. And I just really liked kind of what Matt said in his press conference this week about, he was pretty honest, Jake, I thought, about how I think Bussy asked the question on the third downs and like being better on first down. I really do. I thought Matt answered the question really well. I was appreciative of the forthrightness of his response when he was like, yeah, when you're in 4-down territory all the time, you start to call plays differently.
Yeah.
Your rhythm gets off. And we all kind of thought that, and we talked about how, I thought the kicker thing was a bigger deal than the corners.
Agreed.
And Matt kind of confirmed that, I thought, for us on his press conference Tuesday. So really looking forward to getting Conradi back and just off the bye. And I would be surprised, too, if the tight ends aren't a huge part of this game plan. I mean, really kind of gotten away from that. That was Iowa State's bread and butter early in the year. And the tight ends have not. Burkle really has not played well the last couple of games. And for a while, I think you could say Burkle was the best player on the team for Iowa State for a good chunk of the first part of the season. He's kind of disappeared. His grades have really fallen off. There's a lot of things. It's not just Rocco. It's not just the coordinator. There's just a lot of stuff that kind of adds up.
Yeah, that's a lot. I think Conradi being back, it helps when your team's inside the 25. Matt Campbell can tell everybody, all right, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. You don't need to put pressure on yourself. Go and score, but it's not the end-all, be-all to score a touchdown right now. To even have that in the back of your mind that, all right, Kyle's back. If we don't get this third down, if we don't get this fourth down, we're going to be able to kick a field goal. And what does that do when it's 3rd and 4? Maybe Rocco takes a little bit of the zip off the ball subconsciously. Maybe as you're watching the ball into your hands, you're thinking about it less. You're just catching it. If Iowa State can be 10% more loose than they were in Boulder, they will be able to score points. The problem hasn't been moving the ball. It's been the mental errors when you're on the plus side of the field. And I'd like to think that if Conradi is actually back on Saturday, that fixes a lot of those problems subconsciously.
Presented as always by Channel Seed, Cyclone Fanatic pregame. You can join me at halftime. Jake will join me from being on the field, and then of course we'll have Cyclone Fanatic postgame immediately following Iowa State's game against number 11 BYU. You know, defensively, I think I'm more cautious on Iowa State on this second half of the season. They definitely played better against Colorado. I definitely think that John Haycock has more pieces to work with this year than he did a year ago at this time. And we saw them do impressive things without the linebackers last year, right? But it never felt sustainable because they couldn't stop the run. I do think, Jake, my confidence in these corners is oddly high. Like, I don't think they're great, but, man, we've seen Iowa State play with a lot worse dudes than these guys.
No kidding.
Than Taylor and Bell. I'm just disappointed in the defensive line this year. It just hasn't taken the strides that we needed it to see. When Dom Orange is out there at 100%, they're okay. You know, they're pretty good. But the problem is, like, against Colorado when he plays 17 snaps and he's just gotten hurt a lot, right? He's being asked to do a lot more. He's not holding up that well. He's questionable on the depth chart. I do believe he'll play on Saturday. You just add it up. It's just that they're not – man, I'd love to have Onyedem this year, right? Like, they just need one more guy up front who can really be a dog. And that's where, like, I still like the defense better than I did a year ago at this time, shockingly.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is going to come down to tackling. Breaking news, sound the siren that tackling is going to matter. But BYU is not very explosive, and that's by design. They do have the Big 12's leading rusher in LJ Martin. Really good running back, and he falls forward. That's what the entire team does. They all fall forward.
Bachmeier's the same way.
Yeah, Bachmeier, when it's 4th and 3, he's maybe going to be hit 1 yard short of the line to gain. 9 times out of 10, he's falling forward for that yard. So this game, a lot is going to fall on the linebackers. A lot's going to come on Marcus Neal, Jamison Patton, to not just go be involved in the tackle, but make the plays that we saw them make against K-State on 4th down when they met when they met Avery Johnson in the hole, or they met their backup running back Joe Jackson in the hole and pushed him back. That's what it's going to take in this game. You're at home, you're the favorite, you've got the crowd behind you. Go and be the aggressor and go and hit them. Go and not try and hurt them, but go and try and hurt them. And that's how Iowa State can win this game, is if they're able to step up in those big moments and make the play.
It is nice too. The one matchup that I don't hate, the whole running quarterback thing. I get it, but I'm actually more confident against a guy like Bachmeier than I am Salters in a way, because Bachmeier, it's kind of like what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
like
a lot of his designed runs up the A gap, up the B gap.
That's exactly right, and that has never really been Iowa State's defensive problem. Yeah. And that's also why Dom Orange playing is such a big deal.
Exactly.
In this particular football game.
If BYU's able to get 4 yards worth of push, if Dom's not playing, that's a big deal, because that just shortens it to 2nd and 3 every play. And it's really hard. I don't care what defense you are, it's really hard to play at 2nd and 3 all game. If Iowa State can make that 2nd and 7, BYU's got some good receivers. Chase Roberts is great, but this isn't a receiving core. This isn't a quarterback that's just going to be able to beat you over the top all game long. It all comes down to first down and keeping BYU to just a good running day and not a great running day.
My projection is that they have a lot of long drives. Iowa State holds them to quite a few field goals. That's kind of how you win this, and then your offense does what you project it to do. I have Iowa State winning 24-20. I don't think this is a very high-scoring game. And if it is a high-scoring game, I think Iowa State could pull this thing out by double digits, because I think it'll be that type of an affair. Think about the West Virginia game from 2018, or that type of a game where it's like you have this highly ranked team, and then all of a sudden everything kind of comes together, and you just play this. You kind of play out of your rears. I could see that just based on this spot where I think BYU might be physically coming off of the Holy War, looking ahead to Texas Tech at a bye. There's a reason why every gambler in the country is on Iowa State this week. You got reverse line movement. We got a lot of stuff that indicates Iowa State is a big pick here. So I'm going to go 24-20 good guys.
I went same differential, a little higher scoring. I went 31-27. So,
well, I would like
ballpark.
I would like your game more. I think that would help Iowa State, the higher scoring it would get. There's just part of me that just I could see BYU rattling off a couple of 7 or 8 minute drives.
Yeah,
in this football, and I think
possible.
that Haycock might give it to him is the thing. Like, I just don't know how aggressive he's going to get. This seems kind of like a base style game for Iowa State, where you don't need to bring a ton of pressure because you kind of know what they're going to do, and you play more gap control with your run scheme. We'll see.
I've got a question.
What do you got?
Before we go, I brought this up on the Beat Reporters.
Great show, by the way. It's maybe my favorite show on the network.
Yeah, Ben and Rob are awesome. It's a fun show to do.
You guys do great work.
So, depending on what the kicking situation looks like, the kickoff situation.
Yeah.
Do you consider just kicking the ball out of bounds every time? Give him the ball at the 35. You take Kingston You take him out of the equation. He's known to house 1 or 2 a season. Do you just surrender 10 yards each time and say, we're not going to give you the ball at the 50, we're not going to give you the ball in our territory, but we're also not going to try and pin you deep at all?
Well, are we sure that this Chase Smith can't put it into the end zone?
I mean, he hasn't done it a lot this year. And he got dinged up. He's currently probable on the report.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems like, I understand what you're no, I don't think. But then, I don't know. I see what you're saying.
Because the Cincinnati game, there was one where you pooched it up, they returned it to the 50. That changes
the Colorado game. It completely changed everything after that penalty.
And that's where why didn't they kick it out of bounds on that one when you were that far back?
Yeah. I don't think that most coaches are wired to think that way.
I know.
It's kind of like,
and that's where I fell on.
I'm a let them score guy at the end of the game. I'm a let them in the end, give us a shot. That's how but most of these football coaches are just not wired to think that way.
That's kind of where I landed. I don't expect to see that, but
I don't think it would be the stupidest thing in the world, but I'd be really surprised if they did it. How about that?
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, hopefully this Carson Rhodes has been working out that leg and just punt us.
He gave it a decent little boot.
Give it a little
The
wallop.
problem is his only shot, he was backed up to his own 20-yard line.
Let's see what this kid can do.
Hey, I covered him in high school. I covered him in
see
soccer,
what this kid
too.
can do. Let's go.
I covered him in soccer. He comes from a good soccer
Nevada.
program.
Don't call him Nevada.
Yep, the Nevada Cubs.
Appreciate you, brother. We'll see you on Saturday. Thanks for tuning in to Cyclone Fanatic Pregame. We are presented, as always, by our friends at Channel. You can follow, like, and subscribe Cyclone Fanatic everywhere on X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We will be back at halftime right here live on the stream. And, of course, Cyclone Fanatic postgame as well. Later.